So, Lord Wajid, Fatima, Dr. Mahmood, Alicia G, and distinguished guests. Fatima mentioned about storytelling, and our stories are what connect us to each other. So I want to share my story with you today. Thank you to Fatima and to Asian Standard for this award. I'm deeply honoured to receive this. Like many moments in life, it's bittersweet being here because my son Sammy isn't here. There isn't a day that I don't miss Sammy. And life will never be the same again. But somehow we carry on breathing and living and finding purpose and meaning in our lives. That is what I've learned, and I'm still learning that every day. I knew that I would have to say a few words today, so as I was writing this, I started thinking about my life and all the various roles I've played, from daughter to wife to mother to friend to sister, and all the journeys that I've been on. Some memories made me happy, and others made me sad, momentarily, for what has been and for what has now gone. Coming to the UK and not being able to speak a word of English, as Fatima mentioned, I was bullied at school because of this. Some 30 years later, when I was nominated for an award, my boss in the mayor's office pointed out to me the irony of choosing to make my career in communications. This was an interesting connecting of the dots. Maybe my career was my way of reaching out to the world, having had no voice during my young, formative years in an unfamiliar country and with no friends. Despite this, education was the saving grace for me. I loved studying, and I believed that if I wanted to make something of my life, then education was going to be my key to success. It was also another way of avoiding, at least for a time, family pressures to get married. My tenacity prevailed, and I became the first in my family to attend university and graduate with an honours degree from the London School of Economics. Following this, I had an arranged marriage, somewhat against my will, but even this didn't stop me from pursuing my dreams of a career. When Sammy turned 5, I went back to my career, and my journey took me to the Mayor of London's press office, where, as Fatima mentioned again, I advised 2 London mayors, Ken and Boris, both so high profile that they are instantly recognised by their first names. There, I worked on breaking news stories such as the London bombings. It was a grueling role, and it was challenging balancing this alongside being a mother. Following a separation and divorce, I became a single mother, and as challenging as this was, Sammy was my rock. As it was just the 2 of us, we depended on each other, especially given that Sammy was wise beyond his years, maybe because he had to grow up very fast after the divorce. On the 3rd of June 2014, I received the news that no parent wants to receive, that my son had been killed. He had died within minutes of being struck by an uninsured driver. With those few words, my world collapsed. I spent the next few years campaigning and lobbying the Crown Prosecution Service to prosecute the driver, and I worked with international charity Road Peace to raise awareness of road safety. In 2020, during lockdown, I launched Soul Gems London, my faith-inspired jewellery brand set up in Sammy's memory. Sammy had always encouraged me to go into business, but I had no idea how to combine that with my passion for jewellery and my faith-based values until the idea for Soul Gems London was born. Although the collections would find resonance with Muslims, the universal messages of hope, gratitude, and patience engraved on them have resonated with people regardless of faith. Many non-Muslims who have bought my pieces have asked me about the meanings of the inscriptions on my jewellery and have said how much comfort and peace they have taken from the messages, even though they don't have a faith. Perhaps through something as small as a beautiful piece of jewellery, barriers between communities and faiths can be broken down. That would be a wonderful thing in our turbulent world. As well as a thriving business, I have also remained loyal to my other passion, media and communications, and I'm currently Deputy Director for Media Campaigns and Public Engagement for ActionAid UK, an international humanitarian development organisation which works to eradicate poverty, fight for justice, and centre the voices of women and girls globally. I know I've spoken a lot about Sammy, and this is supposed to be about me, but really, and really, there is no me without Sammy. It's been a long journey to where, sorry, I was like, you don't want to get emotional. I'll just finish off with a few things that I wanted to say. Although it's been a long journey to where I am now, and I'm blessed in so many ways that I can't even count, I'm grateful for all of life's trials and tribulations, as well as the ecstatic highs, like this very moment here with you all. There are good days, and there are some bleakest of days, but it is my faith that gives me hope and inspires me to carry on. And I know there is much more ahead to accomplish, inshallah, God willing. Thank you for your kind grace in listening to me.